I'm coming to the end of showing the 2010 stuff, 11 years ago. This is a little funny mixture I found lurking near the bottom of the case, and very various. And those ones very easy. These are ones you can make yourselves very easily. These are well, probably made in the factory, but variety. That's what I love is variety. My favourite one, I think, is this one here because I do love the spinner. It's been out for well, probably 2 or 3 centuries. In fact, it's medieval even. But if you do an extra little trick and you make this yourselves, you make them from buttons and threads, there's always an extra little feature. So let's go just showing the trick. It's got little faces front and back, which is nice. I like that. It's got a nice thin string. It's got some tubing there to stop the hands hurting too much. And when you set it spinning, it spins very well actually. Let's see if I can get it going. Look. Relax, relax, relax right now. Here we go. That's a good spin. Now the trick is to have 2 pieces there, not one. There's one is blue and one is yellow, and they're separated. And you separate like this, just by relaxing a bit as you're doing the spin. Oh, look at that. And then bring them together again, and they'll hopefully, a bit more of that. And they come together again. So if you've got 2 buttons and threads, make sure you've got at least 2 buttons. Sometimes you can do it with 3 buttons, actually. You get all these wonderful mixed sort of movements of the string inside in between the things, but you've got to relax it slightly in order to get them to separate. And then, wow, lots of fun. So, and that's a very nice version of a spinning top. I do like the cheerful faces front and back. I think that's a nice idea for children to enjoy. Good one. Here's something much simpler, which you can make yourself from a beer mat. These are oval beer mats, and it works oval as well. It's the old Wobbler. Make slots of them. That needs a bit of cutting, so you need parents helping or older siblings to help it. And then you slip them in like this, and then it wobbles across the table in a very funny and gainly way, rather like a penguin, I suppose. Let's see if it goes downhill a ball. Down you go. And it comes off there, yes. I've got another version from the same case, which is properly made in the workshop, which are these 2 discs. Very nicely done too. Look at these. With the slots in there, those are slots. Come together like that. They penetrate by a certain mathematical formula. I've forgotten what it is, half the diameter or something. And then they wobble like that. Very nice. And that, because it's well made, will do a better wobble action. But it's nice to be able to reproduce something like this just with 2 beer mats. I think that's a very nice concept. There's an extraordinary pen I picked up at the New York Toy Fair that year. This one here, look at this. And it's got a nice clip to it, incidentally. See up the camera, so I can show it to you. It's got 2 eyes, it's got a clip. So that will clip on your lapel, and it looks like a face actually with eyes, isn't it? It's actually in 3 parts. The actual pen bit is in the middle, this bit here. So when I twist that, you get a little twist, out comes the point, and then goes back again. But these are, yes, they're just sort of hinged. The idea is they're supposed to twirl it like that. That's just a start. You're supposed to be able to do wonderful actions with it. On the stand at New York, the guy was standing with his fingers doing actions like this, and he did the most extraordinary actions, which I can hardly reproduce, but it started something like that, and then you dropped it down like that, and you flipped it back, and you flipped it back, and somehow he managed to get the other finger to catch it, and did a series of turns like that, but at much higher speed. I'm doing it very, very slowly and lethargically, because I'm not very good at it. I thought that was back. No, it doesn't go back. Oh, yes, do it that way. Yes, that's right. And that goes back like that. It's something, there's good instructions on it. I have to say, there's plenty of instructions, but my goodness me, this is 10 years in going, and I still haven't mastered it. I'm not as known as Speedy Gonzales, I think, do you? So something to look at if you're thinking of getting a penknife, or no, sorry, a ballpoint pen. I think they make knives as well, which you want to be able to juggle with or do things with your hands as a fiddler, and that's as good as any, and it works nicely, and it's very nicely packaged, well thought out, so I can clip it. So that's one item. The last item is a very simple little thing, which I'm particularly fond of this because it came out of a Rupert Bear Annual in 1949, would you believe, when I was a kid learning how to make origami things. You started with a bit of paper, and you did all those funny folds. You put a pair of eyes in it like that, which is, there's the eyes. And then when you folded it, you get what they called a hobby horse. They made a whole little story about it, a little hobby horse like that. Very sweet. And then a friend of mine we were attending a party. James Algetti made a lovely version of this for some puzzle friend of mine with a face and all. So this was very nice. And he endorsed it inside. So, and it's got the hobby horse shape. So when it sits on the table, it's on the hand like that, and it looks very sweet. So I've got two of them here sitting, looking at each other on my table, and have your conversation. Do you like it? Very simple to make too.